What's up, guys? It's Ronnie here, back in the shop. I told you I'd post a video individually on the EP3 and what I'm doing. So we're going to be doing the clutch. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the steps to drop it out. I've kind of already started here and got far, not too far, far enough to show you. This is a 2004 Honda Civic EP3 with the 2.0 liter K20 in it. It's all stock, nothing too special. It has a leaking radiator, which is leaking out of the seam over here in the corner. It's kind of typical for them. The car's at 170,000 some miles, so there are a few things that need to be done while pulling it out. I am gonna do the reseal the timing cover. We're gonna handle some of the timing components, the water pump. There is no belt. This is a chain driven motor, so there's no belt. There is a chain tensioner, which is on the bottom side here, on the back side here, and we'll get to that. So right now I'm getting ready to do the clutch. If you are doing this in your garage or somewhere else like at home, these are the tools I have started off with and using so far. Now on the K series, for those of you who don't know, the easiest way, at least here, if you're doing it like in your garage, you're gonna have to support the motor through the top, drop the trans out the bottom after you remove the bottom subframe. We're not going to do that. I'm gonna undo everything and then set the subframe support with the motor and the trans and most of it attached, and then lift the car back up. So what I've done to start with is to go through. Let me walk over here. I need to grab a light real quick. Okay, so if you're doing this, you can either, like I said, if you're doing it in a garage, just go ahead and drop the subframe down after you supported the top of the motor. You can go to Harbor Freight and you can get a top engine support. They're not too expensive. You can hook the motor at the top and then you can support it and drop everything from the bottom. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So starting off here, of course, take off your usual, your air box, which I've already removed, the air box, the battery, the intake. I have disconnected the shifter cables up here at the top. I always leave the car in neutral anyway, just assurance. So if I would have to, and that's just habit from old schools, to leave it in neutral so I could spin, get what I needed loose, take it apart. On this, like I said, we're going to drop it all as one, and it's been a minute since I've done it, so I am gonna post a video of when I have it out and down. Instead of taking the time to go through everything step by step, I'll just give it to you this way. So tires off. Sometimes if yours hasn't been touched like this one has, you will have a plastic shield that's here. It goes all the way along the bottom, runs all the way along here, and then comes back over on the other side and connects on the top. It's to cover all this shit so it doesn't get messed up. As you can see, I've tucked the shifter cables back. Go to the other side. There's the plastic piece took out. Comes across here. You have clips that, God, I'm awful with this light. Bear with me here, I'm sorry. So, you have clips. There's a plastic clip that goes here. There's another one that goes here that holds this with it as well. And it also clips under here. This does still have the little factory valence on the bottom, whatever you want to call them. So it all was connected pretty well together, like it should have been from the get-go. The other thing you are going to have to do is take the caliper, disconnect the caliper from the rotor assembly, disconnect it from the strut, and use a bungee cord or whatever you have to tie it up over the fender. Careful not to scratch if you are working on a nicer car. You will disconnect the tie rod because that is actually going to stay. You will disconnect the strut, both struts at the top, and that will give you the freedom, along with dropping the disconnecting the AC lines. I'm gonna bleed them with an actual machine. We do have one here at the shop, so I'm gonna bleed the actual system. Of course, you're gonna have to drain your radiator. I'm gonna be replacing this radiator, so I'm gonna be pulling off some other stuff anyway. So like I said, radiator, clutch, timing, and I'll go through these step by step, kind of with little videos on how to replace like the EP3 radiator, how to do the EP3 timing. We'll just kind of wing it and see where it goes. I don't think I showed anybody the inside. You know, it's got its obvious 170,000 mile wear. I think it'll be a nice little project car. We'll kind of see. So, quick blip real quick, because I kind of get sidetracked here. Coming into it, car on jack stands or whatever you're doing at home. Tires, airbox assembly, drain radiator, drain fluids. I've drained the transmission fluid already anyway. Do the oil. I dropped the car down so you could see it. So shifter cables. Then you should be at the point where you can go underneath, and here we'll show you guys. So, coming under here, obviously if you're in your garage or down on the floor or whatever, the view will be a little bit different. But being on the lift, I'm going to now disconnect. Let me put this light up over here. I'm going to disconnect the exhaust bolts here. There's one on the other side as well. And since this one is too rusted, I'm going to go all the way back to, there's one right here. So I'm going to disconnect it right there. So I'll drop the exhaust. That'll free it up just about all the way before evacing the AC to where I can lower the car and the whole subframe onto jack stands. I'm going to crawl under here. We have 1, 2, 3. No, not that one. That's control arm. 2, 3, 4. 4 bolts. The subframe is going to drop with motor, trans, struts, CV axles, possibly wiring harness. So that is kind of where I'm at with it. We'll take it from there. So like I said, quick rundown. Put it up on jack stands, pull the tires, pull the airbox assembly, pull your shifter cables. If you can, evac or drain the AC. If you can't do that, you can always try and, after you get the subframe dropped out, you can disconnect it from the block housing itself. Like I said, I'm just going to evac it. So tires, airbox, shifter cables, AC, if you can, the wiring harness. If not, no big deal. Strut assembly, lose the tie rods, and it'll drop down. Don't forget to tie your brake calipers up either. So I'm going to post a pic of after I get most of it done. I'm going to post a video of it too. We'll run from there. Once again, like, subscribe, let me know how I can do better. Like I said, I'm just starting out in this, so kind of bear with me if it's a little kind of all over the place. I'm trying to get a little more used to the camera and doing this stuff and working at the same time. Anyway, thanks.